Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, where to start, bro? I've got a 4-month-old baby, so I'm a new dad. The pregnancy journey was beautiful with my beloved and I, and came with some unexpected turns and twists. I think the most pressing thing in my life that I could use some coaching on is, as someone who's done a lot of spiritual development and deep diving into health and wellness and had a variety of life experience, I feel that I do not have a solid construct of an identity. And I do not know how to step into a world. I feel a bit out of the world, and I'm learning how to be in the world all over again. And I recently lost my job. So I'm in this place where financial prosperity and abundance and income is incredibly important, so I can provide for the family. And I'm learning to step into my skills, trying to sharpen my own tools, and figure out how I can provide and actually be a provider and a leader and have something to offer in a way that makes sense. Versus just attempting to, I don't know, it's a tricky one. I'm navigating it as I'm speaking with you.
Okay. So have you had an identity before in your life?
Yeah, many.
So let's just describe the last one. If you were to describe the last time that you really felt solid in yourself, in your identity, in your character, like, give me the elevator pitch of who you were.
I was a personal trainer working at a medically integrated facility called Tri-City Wellness Center. It was owned by a hospital, and I was a lead strength coach for teaching people who had a variety of health issues. I was a community outreach leader, so I did things with people with schizophrenia, hip replacements, they were battling cancer. I basically helped them get healthy and fit, trained them up for the Carlsbad Half Marathon, and then also alongside that, I was a personal trainer with individual clients, and then I also worked with people with osteopenia, osteoporosis, the age-related disorders or diseases, and I basically help them get healthy and fit. And I think behind closed doors at home, I was much more spiritual and holistic and alternative in my approach to life and in my own health and fitness. But I just didn't really speak about it publicly. And now it seems that the more people I talk to, the more the world is interested in this, and I don't know how to deliver it.
Okay. So it sounds to me, I mean, I don't know much about you, but the main issue is that you feel like you have a loss of identity. So I'm gonna keep on repeating that in case people are joining, just so they know that what the topic is. So it's
grab a hair tie my hair. That's cool with you.
Go for it.
Cool.
Can you still hear me? No? All right.
Yeah, I got you.
So he's dealing with loss of identity. I'm going to recap what I've heard in a second. Stick around. I'll be off with him maybe in 5-10 minutes, and I'm down to consult, coach, counsel anybody with any issue. Okay, so I'm hearing loss of identity. I'm hearing that you were a personal trainer. At some point, you probably like that. You've transitioned out of that, and now you're at a place where you're interested in the spiritual realms, and you just, for me, it doesn't seem like you have a loss of identity. It seems like that's the direction you want to go. Am I right with that?
Yeah, more or less. We can shift. I think I have a struggle with focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and although it's tricky, Rob. It's a tricky one for me.
So and how is your and so you said you recently lost your job. What was the job?
I was working as a right-hand man to a good friend of mine, Vitaly Martinow, and he's leading breathwork events throughout the U.S., and I was basically helping him with social media marketing, operations, everything on the business side of things, just kind of being what he needed as he needed man.
Okay. And so does that realm interest you?
Absolutely.
So really, what I'm sensing is that you're looking for the bridge so that you can be financially stable within that realm.
Yes.
All right. So first we have to dissect and see if there's any limits to you crossing that bridge, right? So is there like, what was the reason why you were somebody's assistant as opposed to like being the person? Like that's
yeah, that's the, you're hitting home very quickly. I think I've somewhere inside I feel this conflict of, if I'm the person, I'm the face, that there's something egoic with that, and there's this question within myself of like, who am I to claim that I'm a somebody to help anybody?
Mm-hmm. This is something we all deal with, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I think I've leaned on, my fiance was actually just kind of helping me through this earlier. She actually just offered me a tidbit of wisdom, and I was reflecting on it. So this is divine timing. Yeah, it's something within of like feeling that I need a hand, I need a help up. But then once I'm on my own 2 feet, I'm ready to run.
Okay, so this is my challenge / assignment to you. Whoever you're going to be, like let's say you're going to be leading auditorium sized events, right? We can do some work on what your greatest vision of it, but basically get your greatest vision, decide what you're going to be doing on a daily basis. So if it's talking in front of crowds or talking one-on-one or writing books, whatever it is, you need to start doing that now. Doesn't matter if there's no money or even no audience. Me going live right now and saying, putting live counseling on that is me on the same exact journey as you are, deciding that if I'm going to be doing this, I need to just be doing it, period. Right? Just start doing it, and you're going to start learning little tidbits of information that you're going to start getting 1% better every single time that you do it. So whether it's going live, just like I am right now, or just go hang out with your friends and start converting the conversations into things that help them, which I think you're probably already doing. You just got to start doing the thing that you want to be doing in your greatest vision. And the payment and the financial aspect will start coming once you do the work, once you get good enough. You don't just one day decide to be a professional. And that's where your imposter syndrome comes in. And this way you don't have to feel like a imposter by claiming to be something that you don't quite feel you are right now. If you just start doing something within the scope of what you want to be.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Everything you're saying is hitting home and resonating. And I think there's an aspect of me that has this fear of criticism and fear of judgment, or like, am I going to do it right or do it wrong? And so in a sense, you jumping on here, doing this live, and I saw it pop up, and it was like, all right, you know what? Like I'm here, I'm going to take the lead. And it's a stretch for me. Like I already feel myself pushing this edge, and I'm like, all right, there's 34 people watching, and there's this self-conscious criticism of like, do I look or appear worthy as someone who's I don't know if I'm making sense here. Do I appear as somebody who's credible? And maybe
let's ask. What's everybody's opinion who's watching right now? Does he appear credible to listen to? We got you are worthy. You're already inspirational. So you can.
Thank you. Wow, you have an amazing community, bro.
Listen, I'm literally doing exactly what you're doing. So you felt like literally as soon as I started my live, I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to be down to do this, but I'm going to hit the button. And you were the person, let me just adjust everything because I just made everything taller. You were the person that kind of like saved me in my own. Are you still there? I see the circle of doom. Hopefully everyone else can hear me. Anyways, he was the person that selected in and saved me when I was having a little bit of imposter syndrome myself. We're all having it to a degree. All right, he's out, but I think he got what he needed. Got some more requests. I'm going to select I am Drake Rodriguez because he's commenting and engaging on a lot of my stuff. So hopefully he's still in here. I'm trying to accept. It's not working. All right. Let's go with somebody else. His phone died. I know, right? Hello.
What? No way. Okay, cool.
What's your name?
My name is Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, do you have anything going on in life that I can help you with?
Honestly, yes. I actually DM. I mean, I know you like probably go through DMs all the time, but
Rapid fire.
I was like, let me just do it. Let me just see if maybe he can help me out with something. But for the most part, I got into a really bad accident 5 months ago. I fell off of a 400-foot cliff.
Jeez. Okay.
And I also lost my boyfriend through the process. Right here in Palos Verde. I don't know if you ever been to Palos Verde in Los Angeles.
No, not. I don't really hang out down there so much.
It's really beautiful, but yeah. So initially, it's been 5 months since the accident. Obviously, I got a lot of injuries, and I lost someone very dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now the biggest thing is I don't know where to start anymore because I feel like I lost a lot of things. My body, someone close to me, my identity, my job, my motivation, and then things just started following of like, you have depression now and you have PTSD, and I'm dealing with like hardcore anxiety now, and I don't know where to start anymore. I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to go crazy and not do anything.
Right. Okay, so I can help you with where to start. I want you to know that this is something that transformed your life, and there's probably some deep wounds that I urge you to keep on working on, beyond this, right? I'm just basically giving a preface that I'm not like, don't hold me accountable for anything. Okay. So when you're talking, I'm hearing, and rightfully so, but I'm hearing, loss. And definitely there's a time to grieve, and that time is up to you of how long you want to stay in that vortex. But at some point, because you said you don't know where to start, so I'm going to be focusing on like, if that's been your reality, I'm assuming that you're looking to like, what's next, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Like how to get.
It's only because I feel like now I feel like when we fell, we didn't only like lose a physical body, which was him, but I think that the other three that did fall with me, including him, well, it was four of us, we lost our old identity. Mm-hmm. And now I'm trying to figure out what, like, who I am now and like where to go from here, because it's just, it's honestly like probably one of the hardest things that I have dealt with. Mm-hmm.
And you're strong enough. Know that if you're dealing with something, you and everybody watching, that you must be strong enough to deal with this. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. All right. And you are dealing with it. You're here. And so I honor you for that. How old are you?
I'm 25.
So, when I was 24, I had probably one of the most vivid dreams I've ever had in my life. And it was basically what I thought was my brother and I holding hands, and basically he gets swept out to sea and dies. And I woke up and I realized that wasn't really my brother, but that was my younger self, right? And this was me coming into a new age of being. And your version of that around the same age was a lot more real than what I went through. But I think everybody goes through a version of this. And if they don't, that's why ancient cultures had initiation and rites of passages to bring people into this next chapter of life. And so I'm saying all this because it happened for a reason other than to make you sad. Right? And for you to start, my invitation would be to find that reason, to focus on that reason, to start asking the questions of not just why did this happen in like a destructive way, wishing it wouldn't happen, but like really like how is this an evolution for me? How is this gaining me a new perspective? How does this impact, if you're going to have children, my future children's life, me going through this experience, what does that add to what I'm going to be able to impart in the future generations, whether it's your children or just relationships in the future. There's a certain amount of wisdom and energetic experience that you have through going through this. And I've discussed with people that broken their back, lost limbs. It's the same thing. And so I don't want to talk, I'm kind of over, there's a huge thing that I could be talking about, but we're on live. I don't have hours to go into this. It's a big journey you're on, but my invitation quickly, like the quickest thing I can give you to start is proactively search for the light in it. And then as I was just speaking with the last gentleman, you get 1% better every single day. The more that you practice at that, the more resonant you become with that part of the experience, as opposed to the loss. The loss is still important, and that's a big part of this. I don't want to say one is good and one is bad, because it's all there, but there are chapters to this thing called life. And right now you've been in a chapter. If you're ready for the next chapter, then start searching for a different perspective to look at this, and that's how you grow.
For sure.
Is that
no, yeah.
It's super sensitive, and I want to just thank you for coming on here and talking about this. 5 months is super fresh.
Yeah, I'm just there's a lot of pressure and a lot of frustration of like, I want to be my old self, but I'm not my old self anymore. So like you said, I'm trying to look at it in a very different perspective, and like, I don't know, I guess trying to find a little go, or like a little something into like not losing balance or motivation into like continuing my life and not letting it just defeat me, and then I'm stagnant and I'm just a body living on earth instead.
I hear that from a lot of people as well. I feel that you have an experience with death and with even just the loss of your own functioning of your physical body for a certain period of time that most people don't get till they're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, when their friends and relatives and a lot of the people that they know start dying and their body starts breaking down. I feel like you're getting that experience at 25 for some reason, right? And so I just want to urge you to use that, right? In a way, this can be a gift.
I'm trying to look at it that way the most I possibly can. So I really appreciate that. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on.
It was dope talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, you're filled with life force from what I can tell. So Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. I think I'm going to go back to, oh, what's up?
What's going on?
What's your name?
I'm Case.
Case.
Sheesh. We're back. There's 3.
Oh, hey, yeah, I didn't know Case was coming on. Why don't you stand by and then we'll come back to you.
Cool.
Case,
How's it going?
what's up? So I don't know if you caught this, but I'm doing counseling. So is anything going on in your life that I could help you with?
Yeah. No, I've been listening to the prior 2. I'm at a little bit of a crossroads right now. Wanted to just get your input because I appreciate your point of view and your outlook on things. I've been playing basketball professionally overseas for the past 5 seasons, and I'm trying to kind of stop playing basketball. So it's an identity crisis as well as far as transitioning. And I mean, I know you kind of just talked about a dream you had where you were leaving something behind in the past. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, but I also have a really good buddy of mine, one of my best friends, who he actually survived cancer, and he's older than me. He's never played basketball professionally. It's his dream to play ball. So I have enough leverage overseas that I can put in my contract that I'm not coming unless he comes with me. So how do I go about, like, I can do something so special for someone dear to me, but I also don't really want to play basketball anymore. I kind of want to move on to another part of my life, but at the same time, I don't even know what I want to do with my life after basketball. So, it's a little bit of a crossroads. I just wanted to hear your point of view on it.
Is he good enough to play professional basketball with you?
I mean, so he wouldn't be a main contributor, and he doesn't want any money. He's just like, he'd be my tag along. They give you an apartment and stuff, so he'd live with me. He wouldn't get a salary. He would just come play with me. And I mean, I'd be willing to go to a low enough level that he could, maybe compete for some minutes here or there. But it wouldn't be like he's a main contributor or something.
So I think if you can make this work out so that you're fulfilled, that's the only way that I would recommend you going into this journey.
Okay.
If you can't find a way that's gratifying to yourself, then it's never going to be fulfilling for him either. If you're not 100% in and passionate about doing what it is you want to do for him, he'll feel it, you'll feel it, and the whole thing is just going to be like not like you just at the end of the year or 2 or 3 years, you're going to wish that you never did it because you kind of knew that you shouldn't have done it to begin with. So right now, your work is to figure out if playing in the league that you're in right now isn't gratifying to you. I would write down. So just make a list. What's worked for me is just writing out all the things that I want my life to be, right? And that it doesn't even need to be clear. Like if you don't want to play basketball, what do you want to be doing, contributing, what kind of experiencing, what kind of people do you want to be around? And if you just slop that down on a piece of paper, you don't even need to make it make sense. But then as things come into your life, you can analyze it from that framework that you wrote down. And maybe because if on that list is you're helping out your really good buddy, right? You want to do that. That is your intention. Then usually for me, literally every single time, some experience comes to me and it's more perfect than I can ever imagine. So trust is really, and that's where this whole thing with faith comes. If you trust that the solution, because it seems like you don't know what to do, but that's fine. You don't need to know what to do, but trust that the thing that is going to be the answer to that is going to come to you. And all you need to know is that, what you want. But knowing what you want has for most people not been necessary. You can go your entire life not knowing what you want and do just fine. And I don't necessarily think that everybody needs to know what they want. But in your situation where you're at a crossroads, it makes sense for you to know what you want, have some clarity. And that's your only job in this, is get clarity in how you feel about the things.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's kind of what I've been trying to do at the moment, is just kind of sitting in the discomfort and trying to figure out what I really want. But I guess the other thing that's so uncomfortable about that is if I do want to leave basketball behind, it's like, all right, I got to figure out what to do next.
So I can help you with that. If you couldn't fail at anything, like what would you be doing like a month from now? Is there anything that excites you? If you knew that you could be doing it, if there wasn't any hurdles, no risk of failure, what would you be doing?
If I could do anything in the world, I would get paid to travel around the world and go fishing.
Okay. So even just saying that out loud, I'm glad that you said that, because it gives me context. You like that can definitely be done. But that's just an example. So figuring out what it takes to do that isn't that hard to do. So if you literally wrote that down on the top of a sheet of paper and then wrote down the next step, would have to be, you need to be making money from it, right? That would be like the next step. And then it's the step underneath that is figure out how to make money from doing that. And then if that means a YouTube channel, then the step under that means you need probably a video camera, you need a boat, you got to write down your needs. And this is another way. A lot of people, they don't work backwards. So if you think about reality, so computers work with, like, you've heard, like, everything's ones and zeros, right? Reality works the exact same thing. And what ones and zeros means is like yes or no. Everything in life is a yes or no point. Every moment is a yes or no, whether you turn right, turn left, look at this way, look that way, decide to quit basketball, stay in basketball. It's all a yes or no. And what a lot of people do is they go step by step by step, deciding yes or no as the moments come. And you're never going to be able to solve the equation using this computer reference of getting to the certain script that's all the right yeses and nos to lead you to the point where you're traveling around the world fishing professionally, if you're just going step by step, because you might go way off and your equation is wrong. So what you want to do is get everything aligned. What is my life going to look like at this point? And then decide what would I need to say yes to and no to in order for that to happen, and start working your way backwards. And then you'll figure out what you need to do today. Because you might need to stay in basketball. If you need $200,000 to make this work, if you need an extra $200,000 to make this work, that might make you realize that, okay, I got 3 more years in this basketball game to go. But if you work your way backwards, then you can see the map to that final equation. And that's how manifestation works. Eventually, you just shorten that gap.
Okay.
So that it's just happening. But just work your way backwards, as opposed to going moment by moment into the future. Go into the future and work your way back. And then it gives you your map.
Okay. I appreciate that. That's really cool.
Sweet.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Thanks for coming on. Case.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thanks. All right. We're back. I don't know how to undo 3 people here, but
I'll try and exit and then I'll just log back on.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Remind me your name again.
Kunal.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember it. What's your IG?
Kunal, so it's at KUNAL _ my last name Chatkara, CHATKARA.
All right, so I didn't even write that down properly. So I would say that if you want to be known as somebody,
Change my IG name.
I guess you can't really change. I shouldn't say that. Your name is your name, and maybe if you could just do your first name, it would definitely be better. It would be easier to find you. But when you were leaving, whether your phone died or whatever, a lot of people were giving you affirmations, but I was also saying that I was going through I'm currently going through the exact same thing you're going through. And me coming on here giving live counseling was me taking the advice that I was giving you, right? I'm just going to start doing this. And I had imposter syndrome, and you basically followed my invitation and saved me from my imposter syndrome within like 3 seconds. So I wanted to thank you because you showed up for me. And it seems like I'm grateful to be able to reciprocate that back to you. It's like this weird.
Yeah, can I ask you your first name? I just want to call you Raw.
Yeah, it's Raw. My birth name's Ronald, okay. And then I went by Ronnie, and my spiritual name is Ravi, which means essence of the sun.
Ravi,
but it's all raw. It's all raw. So.
Yeah.
I
hope.
Yeah.
Bro.
So if I just want to say really quick, if anyone's out there that wants some free counseling, just join this live, and I'll get with you when I'm done with Kuno.
Yeah,
Kuno.
You got it, bro. Yeah, my brother, what to say? I guess I equally want to thank you and extend my gratitude to you as well, because I just followed the energy. I was sitting in front of my red light device, and I don't even remember what I was doing on my phone, and I saw your name pop up, and I was like, yes, this is an opportunity. I need counseling. And I've also followed Raw for some time now, and I've wanted to connect with him, so why would I pass up the opportunity?
Yeah.
And I'm shirtless, out of the shower, my hair's out, but I was like, I'm just going to seize the moment. So, yeah, brother, thank you so much. And it's very evident to me in the few minutes that I got to watch you coach the last gentleman, Case, I think his name was. Yeah, you're very precise and clear. And I think what stood out most to me is that you're not afraid to just call it what it is. And I think doing that publicly takes a lot of courage. And that's something that I'm both leaning into and learning. And yeah, man. So I'm grateful that I could make this connection with you, and that I was able to jump on here for the few minutes that I was able to.
Thank you. Thank you for receiving. And I just want to respond to that and say that whenever we get those doubts, it helps to remind ourselves that people are relying on us. Like, they're waiting. They're going to bed every single day staring at the ceiling, and they're only going to be able to hear the message from ourselves, right? From us, from me, from you, from anyone else who's out there wondering if they have what it takes to be a coach. Your future clients, like, they're destined for you to become their destiny requires you to be a coach. So you are the important factor for all of your future clients, and you kind of just taking it slow or being scared or being timid or going small it's impacting the world. And just know that, and remind yourself that, because it's when we get into our own heads and we start thinking about ourselves, when we start thinking selfishly, what is this going to mean for me? Are people going to laugh at me? Are my friends going to think I'm crazy? That's what holds us from being great. And just reminding that it's like not about me. Like, are you willing to be made fun of to steer 10,000 people's lives on the right journey? I think it's a prerequisite. People are going to make fun of us. So we just gotta, like this person said in the comments, we gotta lean in. We gotta lean into it.
Yeah, that's one of my best friends.
Oh, nice.
Blowing up the comment thread. Yeah, bro. I just, yeah, thank you again. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I think this is it. This is co-creating the future right now in the present moment. And yeah, I just feel blessed that I can connect with you.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to get to, go ahead.
One quick request before I jump off.
Yeah.
is it possible that you can save this video and send it to me? Just because it'd be a great reminder for me.
Yeah, I'll probably post it, and if I can download it, I'll get it over to you. Instagram's being weird lately, so I'll see if I can download it. All right, guys, we're doing live counseling. Request to join. I've got one person on deck right now. So if you are wanting something answered, or no, I shouldn't even say answered. If you would like some feedback from me, then request to join live. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube and you want to be on, then that means you got to come over to Instagram. Request to be live on Instagram. So I just invited somebody. Hi.
Hello, greetings.
Oh, have I spoken to you before?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
I think maybe like through DMs. We went
All right.
back and forth.
You look familiar. What's your name?
My name is Andrea. Goddess Andrea is my live.
All right.
Not my live, my Instagram name.
Okay, awesome.
I'm at work right now, so I mean it's like the last 30 minutes. I work at a store, so somebody comes in here and I'm just like, I'm gonna obviously.
All right. Well, let's pretend we're on an elevator ride up. And what are you dealing with right now? What can we handle in a couple minutes?
So I've been dealing with this like backlash from my karma. And I say it's karma because I'm like actively doing Reiki therapy intentionally and like also distant. Well, I guess I should say like personally and distant. So I had like some therapies last month, and then I ended up getting sick. I ended up tripping and messing up my ankle, and I was like out for like 3 weeks. I had to like all of a sudden stop working out, stop doing the things that make me a better healer. And then recently, I lost my phone, or my phone got stolen, and it's like while I'm working, while I'm like shining my light, putting my light out into this dark universe, just to continue the love that we need to keep working on every day and just sharing with the community. And I don't know, I just want like some insight on what it could be like if I need to do more energetic cleansing for myself, or how I can become more focused.
So you said you're at your job right now, right?
Yeah, so I have 2 different jobs. I have a retail therapy job. Well, not retail therapy, but I call it retail therapy.
Got it.
Because buying clothes just like changes the mood of women in general.
Good reframe. Okay, I got something quickly to tell you because I know that you might have to pop off. If anyone wants some counseling, just hit the request live button. So what I think is going on is that have you go rewatch. So I invite you to go watch the movie with Jim Carrey, The Truman Show. And are you familiar with that movie? Okay, so it's a movie on entertainment, but he's trapped in a bubble and it's all made up. And at one point he determines to escape, and he has to go through so much shit to bust out of that paradigm, to the point where he's almost about to die. And he jumps on top of his boat and he screams up to like the all-seeing eye that like, you're going to have to kill me because you're not going to stop me. I don't remember his exact words, but basically what I think is happening is that you're in between 2 chapters or realms of yourself. And in order for you to fully pop into the next one, there's a bunch of tests and challenges going on to make sure that you're ready to break out of this one and onto this one. And so that's where like you're just getting stopped. You're saying like, why am I getting stopped with doing these things if it's right? I think it has more to do with maybe you're grabbing on out of safety to like a job that you have right now. And the more that you start releasing other things, the more that the universe is going to stop like knocking your phone out of your hands and making you kind of fumble with the things that you need right now. I don't know. How is that landing on you?
Okay, So I mean, like, yeah, I can see that, like, being an issue, like, two different paradigms, they obviously don't add up. So maybe, like, something from an old paradigm is, like, trying to break into this new paradigm. And I just hear, like, security. I just need to keep refining my security.
Just move in the direction of your desires confidently, as Bruce Lee said in a different way. And when you get the holdups, that's bound to happen. In order for you to actually shift the reality, there's a lot of breaking. You have to break the egg of your current reality, and that comes at a cost. There is a price to do that. And so you can look at it as karma is kind of what you said, or like you're being punished, but it's not really a punishment. It's a birthing, and the birth is a traumatic experience. It's like more traumatic than death. And so as you rebirth yourself, there's trials and tribulations. It's an initiation, and being okay with that will help you go through it. And it makes you stronger. You got to break the egg so that you're stronger in the new reality. So
I guess thanks. Yeah, it's definitely worth the journey. I know it's not a destination. I just have to keep on taking my time and enjoying, each step of the way.
Yes. Well, thanks for coming on here and sharing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, Andrea. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So I'm going to the next person. Alejandra's Fit Diary. I'm doing live counseling. So if you would like to join, just tap on the join live. Hello.
Hi.
Did I remember your name? Is it Alejandra?
Yes, Alejandra.
Alejandra. Hi.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Hi. First of all, I want to thank you for having me in your space, and I appreciate your help. And this is really amazing what you're doing. Sorry, the light's shining on me.
Well, you're an important part of this. So I also have the same thanks for you, and I receive your thanks. So what's going on? What can I help you with? What can I help you help yourself with, rather?
Well, like right now, I can't believe since I follow you and I love your spirituality. I also consider myself very spiritual, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I need some guidance. I feel like I'm in a narcissistic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to go about to. I get the bravery, and I'm like, I need to leave this relationship, but he's also spiritual. I don't know if that's. He also connects with me, but there's this dark side, and I'm like, am I paying some sort of karma with this person? Am I supposed to, like, am I paying a karma with my partner that I feel that he is my life partner? I don't know if there's such a thing. I've already separated, and he followed me. I feel we're destined, but I think he needs to work on his shadow side. I just don't know how to cope with it. I try to help him. It's just hard as a mom.
So your question has to do with coping with this situation.
Or should I even should I help? I know that's a motherly women thing to do. We want to help. I don't see it as a bad thing. I know he needs help. I know he's super nice, super sweet, but he has this dark side. He never put hands on me. It's just, he has this negative way of thinking at times.
Mm-hmm. And is this, just going to ask, is this reoccurring in your partners, or is this kind of like a unique experience?
It's like different things trigger him. I don't know if it's childhood trauma. I know that he went through a lot when he was a kid. I understand, but he seems to heal himself. He meditates, but then he goes back to that old personality, like that mean,
Okay.
aggressive.
So there's a lot of ways I can go with this. The thing that I think will give you the most peace is find counseling for couples. And because there's a child involved, there should be a way that you can do that for free. And I went to school for psychology. I believe in counseling. I've had psychiatrists counsel me, and even just a few sessions can be life-changing in your personal life, but definitely in your relationship. If there's a way that you can make that happen, some people are shy about it. Some people don't want to make the time to do it. Have you guys had counseling before? I should ask that first.
We have not. We have not had counseling.
So, having a third-party professional talk to you both, maybe together, and even have some individual sessions so that you can really just unload about the other person without them being triggered, or about your own problems without them being triggered. Having somebody do that and be on your guys' team and start to rearrange your guys so you can start working together as a team would be my advice for everyone to start with, because otherwise, we're fumbling in the dark. Like, the psyche of our brain, it goes deep. And this person's the counselor is going to know about your guys' childhood. And what's likely is that you guys are being triggered by each other. Maybe from your perspective, he's being triggered more than you're being triggered.
I don't get triggered is the thing. I try to calm the situation. I try to walk like pretty much an eggshell, because he has like some anger like inside, and I know he has this way of thinking since he was little.
It's like, for the sake of the child, my invitation is that it's mandatory if you want to save this relationship, because I wouldn't trust that either of you have the tools to fix it on your own. And so, looking at it from the position of like what's best for the child and then what's best for you two individually, like you can make that a priority, or you can start asking yourself about, is there somebody else? Do I need another person? But we don't know, like, these problems are going to exist with most people. Like relationships, these problems come up so that we do face ourselves. And so there is cheap ways to get counseling as well. You can even go to a weekend retreat. That's another way to do a bunch of drills for 30 hours straight, that will reveal some things.
I was looking into that. I have been. It's just I saw you come up and I'm like, I need some counseling.
Yeah.
Am I doing the right thing?
So
I'm like, hey, like, should somebody try to heal? We've been in a relationship now for 12 years. It's 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years.
So he's not going to change. He's going to be going on the same direction that he's been going on. There's absolutely nothing that you can do to change him, like not a single thing. He's going to have to change himself, and that decision is going to have to come from his self. So when you're doing the equation of do you stay or do you go, do not factor in the fact that he might change. That can't be a factor. The one thing you need to always trust is that people are going to show up as they are. And that's the factor. So like, let that be in the equation when you're deciding, on the relationship. He's going to show up exactly as he is. Do not rely on him changing.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for taking time.
Yes, thank you for coming on and sharing that.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Okay, next person. So I'm just doing counseling. Probably wrap up with these next two people. Next time you can just request to join live and get my feedback. I didn't really give feedback to Alejandra so much because I felt like in her situation, another professional would be able to serve her a little bit better than I am. All right, so I think that from Ashwarya it's not letting her join. So I'm going to go to the next person. I probably have room for one more. I'm going to try it one more time. Nope. All right, I guess I can do one more. If somebody else wants to jump on here and let me know what they're dealing with. Request. Hi.
Hi, Ra. How are you?
Good. I was hitting two different buttons. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
Alex. All right. So Alex, it's nighttime. It's almost nighttime here. What part of the world are you in?
I'm actually in Jersey City. That's
All
so
right.
funny you asked because I did want to show you.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you on like a mountain or a slope of some sort?
I'm on a deck.
Well, I know, but is your house at
yeah,
elevation?
It is. There's a one-way up on a huge cliff, and there's 100 steps to bring people down from Jersey City to Hoboken.
Well, thanks for that visual.
Yeah, of course.
So what's going on?
I just kind of wanted to say thank you. I love hearing you give advice because it resonates with me too. And I forget the name of the guy where you were just like, write it down. I'm almost just resistant to writing it down. I don't know why. I can't figure out what's stopping me. I believe every single thing that you're saying. So I don't know why. It's like lack of action. I'm just kind of lazy.
So, I mean, I told him to write it down, but then I asked him the question, what would you be doing if failure wasn't an option? And he said, traveling around the world and fishing. Like that to me, looking at that guy seemed like he definitely could have made that happen, but he didn't write it down. So like, if you could speak it out, what would it be?
I would honestly love to just live at home and I do want to be a housewife, I think. I know that sounds crazy, or just like run my own business out of my home, but do something I really enjoy. I'm so vague, it's hard to like put my finger on exactly, and I know you don't have to know, but ideally I'm living in a huge house with a pool on the beach. Like I'm in my house all day, and I know I can do this and I can make this happen, but I can't figure out the means or like what's gonna serve me best.
Oh, hold on. Let's leave that part out of the equation. So you lasted about 3 sentences before you started diminishing and basically falsifying what you want, right? So right there tells me that you could definitely be aware of that, number one, but practice focusing on what you want. So live at home, housewife sounds good to you. Maybe it's that, maybe it's you have a business, huge house at the beach. While you're saying that, I want you to like, how does that feel? Like, how would that make you feel to be in that reality?
It would make me feel excited and relaxed. And just like able to take each day as an experience and not be on anyone else's timeline but my own, to enjoy my day as I desire.
Okay. So what this is an exercise called I call it root desire analysis. It comes from the manufacturing world, where they call it root cause analysis, where they try and find the cause of a mistake. They don't just find the cause of the mistake, they find the cause of the mistake, and then they find the cause of the mistake. And then they realize that like, it's not that the drill bit broke, it's the fact that we didn't train our managers to train their team to replace the drill bits properly, so then it broke, which then make the car break. So when you are looking at your desires, like live at a house, that's that first level, but you desire that for a reason, right? And that reason is because you desire to feel excited and relaxed, to take each day as an experience. And what you can start doing is, like, number one is ask yourself the question, is there a way that I can live like that now without the house? Because the route to the house requires that state of being. You'll have to be in that state of being before the material realm forms around you. But beyond that, if that's not possible for you right now, like, start asking yourself, why is it that what do I desire about being excited and relaxed to take each day as an experience? Like, is there another reason that you desire that? Does anything come up?
I kind of like what you said before that, but I kind of forget where you were going with
So I
that.
think we're kind of at the end of that, because what I normally do is somebody says they want more money, and then I say why, and they're like, because then I can buy a car. Well, what does the car get you? Well, the car gets me freedom. Well, why do you want freedom? And you eventually get to the point where you discover the thing that stops you from feeling excited and relaxed, and what is in your reality now that could potentially be hindering you from taking each day as an experience. And that's the stuff you want to offload, because manifesting has more to do with letting go of the current dense reality that you're in right now, and allowing you to transcend that and make space for something new. And so that's where I would start.
Thank you. It's true. It's like, I think it comes down to not wanting to work a 9 to 5, but then I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And it's almost just like,
but that's where you can start then. So having realization, like, you're never going to have a house on the beach working 9 to 5. You know that, right?
right.
Like, people with houses on the beach they don't work.
Right. That's why I need to think bigger, but I'm just being resistant and I don't know why.
Right. Well, the same scenario I gave, I think, it was maybe it was Andrea. I was talking about the Truman. No, it wasn't her. It was, anyways. Yeah, it was. I was talking about the Truman Show. So basically, there's your, what's the word? There's like priority and secondary. I don't think those are the words that I want, but like, your brain, the way that our brain operates is that it's going to sabotage anything that we view as not primary. That's the word. So we've got our primary beliefs and our primary objectives, and then our brain's going to sabotage anything that's not primary. So if this vision of yourself is a secondary thing, if it's one day it's going to happen, it's never going to happen. So the question is, how can I shift this vision into my primary state of reference so that you're not squashing it? Because remember, I can prove that your brain's gonna to squash it because you did it. You lasted 3 sentences when I asked you what your greatest vision was. You lasted 3 sentences and your brain started saying, but I can't do this because I can't do this because I can't do this. You want to shift it so that that's not happening. Like, that's your primary objective in life. And you will start, instead of squashing it, you will start dreaming up 50 different scenarios. Maybe 45 of them are absolutely nuts. Maybe all 50 of them are absolutely nuts, but one of them just might happen because you have the resources, the connections, the circumstances to make that work. And that's the one that you go on. And you need to start daydreaming like that. You have to start daydreaming about, like, what if, how can I, what's it going to take? Like, because we call it luck, right? You might get lucky, but like, it's the intention, the emotional attachment to that reality. And when the circumstance comes, you can recognize it and then you can act on it. The amount that you can do is like incredible. It's incredible. You don't know it because you're incredibly intending to stay where you are. Like, so you're using this awesome power of manifestation to convince yourself that where you are is where you belong. And that's exactly what is being manifested. And although it's incredible, it's kind of boring, and because you don't really know that you're even manifesting your current life, but you are. So you just got to become obsessed with something else, and literally it'll happen quicker than you can imagine.
Thank you. It's true though. Like I do feel like I manifested this. I wanted to live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with an outdoor space. It's I don't know what it is. It's like I think I'm ready for like the next step in my life, but getting there, I need to start daydreaming.
Yeah, because that's your vision is the limit, right? And so congrats on manifesting. I'm sure where you're living right now was your dream at one point. And right now you're like, fuck, I got some bigger visions that I'd like to be filling, but you got this other part of your brain that's stopping that. So here's an exercise that you can do. The reason why your brain is doing that is because it has it's protecting yourself, right? So we've got the positive brain, which tells us to cross the street, to go to the other side, right? And we've got the negative brain, which says, no, don't do that because you might get hit by a car. And so the negative brain serves a purpose. Its purpose is to keep us safe. So understanding that can allow you to hack it. So what you can do is you can turn that negative brain off, because that negative brain, which exists and it's very primitive and seeded into your psyche, it exists for everything in the future. It doesn't exist for things in the past, because there's no reason to protect yourself from things that already happened. So rather than imagine yourself in this house, right, achieving that, because your negative brain is going to be all over that shit, because there's all sorts of things to justify why you don't deserve it, why it's too hard, why it's impossible. It's so easy. So you want to place your frame of reference in the future as if you've already been living in that house for, let's say, 2 years, and you're remembering back to when you achieved that lifestyle. And that's where you want to be sort of doing this exercise. Do it as a memory, and that negative brain will not be there. If you're remembering when you signed the contract or the deed of the house, and you're remembering the opportunity that allowed you to afford it, or the guy that you met in a certain way, you want to remember your future, and the negative brain isn't going to be there interrupting.
I got chills. That was really sweet, and I think that is a really good exercise that I would love to start implementing.
Yeah, and then you can allow yourself to be in the feeling of, the feeling is what's necessary. And if the negative brain is there, it's stopping the feelings from flowing through you. And then eventually, the paradox of it all is that I don't want to, I'm kind of trampling over everything I just said by saying this, but hopefully, yeah, exactly. So the paradox of it all is that if you're able to do this, then it actually doesn't even matter if you're in the house or not. Like, it comes to the point where, like, you're able to evoke the feelings and be the thing. But the paradox of the paradox is that you need to be that person anyways before you get into there. So it ends up all working out weirdly more perfect than you can imagine. And it didn't even need to happen. You would have been perfect anyways.
You're so right.
Okay, thank you. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you so much for being on here. I saw you get on around like 5:30. I got on my spin bike and then I took a shower and then I came outside and I saw you're still on. So I was like, you know what? Let me pop back on and just, I'm so happy I did and
Yeah,
appreciate you being on.
so am I. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, and thank everybody else for coming. If you do want to, if you see me do live counseling in the future, maybe I'll make a schedule of it, but just join and request to be live, and I'll give the best feedback that I can imagine in the moment. Take care, everyone. I gotta end these computers. I don't know if they even recorded because I have 2 windows up.